Welcome back, everybody. Pastor Mike Robertson here. We're on chapter number 6, How to Handle Difficult People. And I threw the kitchen sink at this chapter. And you have so many things that I probably put too much in it, because the first part of it, I was trying to get you to identify certain difficult people, placing them in categories. And at the end, I'm giving so many remedies, hoping that maybe throwing all these things up against the wall like Verico, maybe one thing will stick, maybe one thing will help you in dealing with difficult people. But the first part of it is I start identifying certain difficult people and categorizing them so that you're better equipped in dealing with that individual. I had a difficult person in my life years ago, and I couldn't figure out why. This person was just not good in meetings. And one of my friends consulted me and said, you know what? That person is the kind of person that loves to go find the dead moose, bring it into the boardroom and throw it on the table and tell everybody, hey, I found the dead moose. I found the problem. Now you deal with it. Once I identified that, I then figured out how I could handle that individual. Early in one of the chapters, I talked to you about the matador and how the matador said that the most important thing to do in the bull ring is to keep the cape away from you so that you don't get gored. And to me, there's a lot of people that act like bulls. They're just very, very difficult. Just don't let those people get so close that they can gore you. So if you identify the person, then you could figure out what your reaction to that individual is going to be. And but I think this is what happens, that I think most people, when they have a difficult person in their life, it's how that person makes them feel. It's the emotion that person brings up. And I think that one of our biggest problems in life is when we act out of emotions in the heat of a difficulty or a difficult person. Then some of our biggest regrets come over the fact that we did something emotionally and we shouldn't have done that. But I like what John Joliffe said in this chapter, a friend of mine, and he's also a therapist. John held a nationwide radio talk show where he was a therapist helping people with difficulties. And he said he had to come up with a quick way of helping people how to deal with difficulties, and just a matter of the couple of minutes that he had to share with them to try to find a remedy. And so he came up with this equation, and I love it because he said these are the ABCs in dealing with difficult people. The events of life. There's things going to happen. There's nothing you and I can do about it. We can't change the weather. We can't change the President of the United States. We can't change a lot of things, but it's just the way things are. B is our evaluation of those things, our self-talk. What is our inner dialogue? If we're healthy in our inner dialogue, we can handle the events. But he said that most people, they don't handle problems that way, and they don't handle difficult people that way. Most people that have a difficult person or a difficult problem, they jump from A and immediately go to C. And they bypass our self-talk, they bypass the evaluation of it all, and they go right to the emotion. And this is what gets us all into trouble. Well, can you believe that person did that? Can you believe that he said, that she said, that he said, she said? Can you believe? And you ruminate and spend all of your energy in emotions, and that is simply going to get us nowhere. It's definitely not going to fix the problem. And so what is the inner dialogue going on in your life? That's why I'm such a proponent of God's Word. That's why I'm such a proponent of meditation and prayer, because it helps us with our self-talk. It helps us that when an event happens, when somebody does something that we don't like, we we're okay because that person is not getting to us. The event is not getting to us. It's because we become healthy in the way that we perceive things and the way that we handle things. So in this chapter, dealing with difficult people, the how to, I like to liken it also, another remedy I gave you is liken it to your hand. This is easy to remember. Think of difficult people like this. Your index finger is how you deal with the difficult person, is what's happening with your speech. Because life and death are in the power of the tongue, the old writer told us. What's happening with your talk coming out of your mouth? Because that points the way. Our index finger points the way. So I want to ask you, when you wake up, and what's the first thing you say about that difficult person? Are you speaking well? Are you speaking blessings over them? Are you just ruminating one more day and it's just tearing you up emotionally? That's not going to get you anywhere. So number one, speak well. And number two is your middle finger, because this middle finger reaches out further than the other fingers. And to me, that right there is something unique about each one of us. That's our talent. Every one of us we all have something different that we can do that other people can't do. That reaches out. I think that if people would, when they get involved with a difficult person or difficult situation, if they will simply go find something to do. I'm a pastor. I try to get people to serve the Lord all the time, but I also try to get them to serve in their church, because if I can get you busy using your talent, I can get your mind off of the difficult people in your life. And if I can get you serving using your talent, I can get you seeing the supernatural power of God. Let me illustrate that for you. Remember when Jesus performed his first miracle? It was at the wedding of Cana. They had run out of wine. You know, the crowd never saw that miracle. Only the people that were serving saw the miracle. Servers see things. They see the miraculous power that no one else sees. And if you're dealing with a difficult person, you need some miraculous power going on in your life. I promise you, if you'll get to serving the Lord, that will help you deal with that difficult person. The ring finger here, when I move my ring finger, all the other fingers move. This one is our thoughts. What are you thinking about? The book of Philippians says, think on these things, whatsoever things are lovely, whatsoever things are good report. Think on good things. I wrote a whole book about this called Mind Viruses. 7 words that will change your life. Brought out of Proverbs 23, verse 7. As you think, so shall you be. As you think. Successful people are successful because they think about it all day long. People that are broke all the time are going to continually be broke unless they change the way that they think. Every one of us can change the way that we think. So change how you think. You're driving down the road every day of your life, so to speak, and why is it that we all have a proclivity to take the negative first? It's like driving down the road. We take the exit into negative town. No. Wait for the next exit that says Blessedville. Wait for the next exit. And the way you do that is keep your mind thinking on good and godly things. That will help you deal with the negative people in your life. The pinky, people say that's not very important, but people tell us that if you don't have a pinky finger, it's hard to balance your life. And this to me is our time. If we can get a balance on our time, again, if we can get ourselves wrapped up in doing something positive, what are you doing with your time? Are you spending all your time binge watching another season of your favorite show? Come on. You're spending all your time behind the computer, video gaming, or whatever you're doing. I don't know, playing poker. Start using your time better. If you don't know how to do that, get with someone that can help you use your time. That is a big one. Hey, the last one of the illustration is our thumb. And our thumb is the most important one of all. And to me, it deals with our treasure. treasury, our money. Now this is a little different, but I've solved a lot of difficult people in my life with my money. You say, that is strange. How can you do that? Well, I was having a difficult person with a lady one time, and man, I felt like she did me wrong. And after I repented of my behavior, I felt like the Lord impressed me, give an offering to a lady missionary. I did. And when I gave that offering, this woman got out of my spirit. A lady in the church, it just got out of my spirit when I gave that offering. I tell people all the time, put your money where your mouth is. I don't know if I'm using this right, but the Old Testament had this thing called guilt offerings. Hey, if you did something really wrong, and we're not trying to buy our peace, we're not trying to buy off God, but I'm telling you, there's something about money that if you'll take and give an offering to something, it will help you deal with the difficulties in your life. I am a living example of that. Matter of fact, Jesus said that. Between Jesus and Paul, I think they mentioned that a half a dozen times in the New Testament. Watch out for all manner of greed in your life. It was very important. Jesus said at least 5 times, I think, watch out that greed doesn't get you. Do you know that my giving is the only proof that greed has not gotten a hold of me? So maybe you should sow a seed. Maybe you could use the strongest part of your hand, the strongest part of your life. Put some money on it. I know some of you theologians are going to challenge me on that, but that's personal, and I've dealt with a lot of difficult people in my life that way. So as I end this talk, how are you going to deal with the difficult people? I hope you worked your way through this chapter, because I've given so many recipes to it, how to identify, how to deal, and all of those things. But the question is how soon are you going to get started? I think you need to get started today. And I think you need to go to God and say, God, how do I deal with this? And then I think that you ought to be very intent that when you wake up tomorrow morning, you're different than you were today. Og Medino said this years ago. He said you should treat everybody as if they're going to die at midnight. That will change your whole life, Og said. Man, you think about that. That difficult person in your life, what if they die at midnight tonight? You'd start treating them a little bit differently. One of the things you could do is pray. So pray over that. Oh, it's so hard, Pastor Mike. I know, but it's the best remedy that we have toward dealing with the difficult people. So work it out. Use the 5-finger illustration. Use something, but do something today that's going to work that person out of your life. And may one day you not have any difficult people that are taking your energy away from you. Ask the people around you. I asked a staff member one time at our church. They were really having a hard time with a difficult person in their life. And I told them, I said, would you tell me, this person knows me well. I said, would you tell me who my enemies are? Tell me who my enemies are. This staff person said, they thought for a few minutes, they said, I don't know who your enemies are. I said, exactly. Because I treat my enemies just like I treat my friends. And the only way I can do that is because I've gone to God, and I'm going to His Word, and the words coming out of my mouth are speaking blessings. You'll never know who my enemies are, because I'm constantly working them out of my spirit, with my tongue, with my talent, with my time, with my treasure. And you can do it too. So that's my assignment to you. Number 1, identify who they are. Number 2, what remedy? I'm giving you at least 4 in this chapter. What remedy are you going to use to deal with the difficult people in your life? And do something about it before midnight tonight. God bless you. I'll see you next time.